Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the USO, the UUP, the GLD, the TLT, and the GDXJ. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, sign up, it's free, or subscribe down here in the lower right hand corner to my YouTube channel. And again guys, thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Alright, daily chart, 25 million. 1.46% down, or 14 on the day. So really, it's just a pause day. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days up. Now we're looking for sideways action, build some compression, and possibly pop up into this area. Or do we just slide right back down and then retest these lows? So right now we're kind of waiting for pattern. We did fill the gap, a little bit red. It wasn't a great showing today, but still we're up in this range above the 382. Let's see what happens in the next couple days where we can figure it out. I think maybe some chopping up and down, maybe from this range here to the highs there. Watch for that. If you are bullish, you got to crack above here, the 50%, and then higher prices. If you do come in here, you just got to watch for these lows around $9. As long as that holds, you'll be all right. If that starts to slide, then you got to think about possibly taking the long off. Just like going up. If this thing starts shooting up, you got to think here's not bad. You do have some great stuff here. I love this one right in there. If it could get to this 1065, 1070 area, gap fill, high little pivot here, man, that would be a great area for a short, because knowing that if it continues going up through this great resistance, then you got to stop out and let this thing come, maybe 1124. And I think there's an area around 12. Yeah, $12. So watch for that. But right now, guys, slightly bearish, below the 50 and the 200, still above the 20, so slightly bullish. But right now we're just chopping, really giving no direction other than setting up for possible higher prices if this continues sideways. Remember, up, side, it's a little choppy but slightly bullish, but overall picture is down, sideways, bearish. So let's just see what we get in the next couple days, and then we'll revisit this one and take a look at it. Now the UUP, guys. UUP flat on the day. We're talking about these patterns. Goes down, sideways, down, sideways, down, sideways. Can't get above that. Can't get above the trend line. Trying again. Oh, ran out of steam. Going sideways. It can't even catch a little bid now. I'm still thinking $24, but you're going to still have some areas as this thing comes down lower. You had a gap fill up in there. That's where it stopped first. Now you have the next gap fill where it hit on Friday, and we're slowly stopping today, and you still have these lower pivots down here around 24.57. But as you get lower, you get into 24.32, which is a huge gap fill, little pivot. But I still think we could possibly fill these gaps down here. You got a gap down there, and then you have the big pivot around $24. I love that area for a long, 24.80. Let's see how it gets down there, and let's see if even if it gets to this area. Because let's look at the weekly. Normally I don't. It's Monday. But look at the weekly 200 MA. It's right in that area too. I mean, look at all that support, guys. If this thing falls, even coming from a high pivot for the last couple months, this should be a good bounce area for a nice multi-day bounce, maybe multi-week bounce on the dollar. But we'll have to see how it goes into it and see what happens with the overall markets when this thing comes down here, if it even does. Remember, down sideways on the weekly. That's a great setup too. So keep watching for those patterns, guys. Let's see if we get down here into the 240 or $24 area. 240. I'm thinking of 2400, but $24 area, that would be a good area for a bounce. All right, and weekly could go through. Remember, it's a weekly chart, a little bit of a slingshot and then come through. So I'm waiting for the 24, this low pivot, before we do anything, even though the 24 or the 200 MA is at 24.17. So watch for that. I think it's going to be a good long. If we could get some volume, get some maybe get some news even too. No, just kidding. But all right, let's go into the GLD, guys. GLD weekly. Actually, no, not the weekly, the daily. Daily chart, trying to get that above the 20 and the 200 MA. Barely making it, guys. I mean, just chopping around. I thought we had it. They had a nice gap up, and it came right back in right below. So we're back below the MAs. A little bit bearish. Still below this big trend line. That's a big trend line that it broke down. I mean, this breaks down. This continues going, guys. We're going downtown on gold, and I'm long, so I'll have to tighten the stop. We sold half here. We're still okay. We bought another position here, small short-term trade position. It's an okay position, but I'm up maybe a buck on it right now, I believe, right in that area. And gosh, if I get another buck or two, I'm going to take that off, keep my swing trade on. Hopefully we get back up into here a little bit higher. So right now, not telling us too much. A little bit weak, being below the trend line in the MAs. So right now we're just kind of waiting for pattern. Let's see if we could continue gapping up. What I would love to see is just a gap up over this trend line, then sideways action, then the next move up. If we get that, I don't know. Only time will tell on these charts. But right now, a little bit weak. If you are trying to go long down here, you can use this low pivot for the stop out, 114. Any close below 114, you just have to exit. And I think we'll probably go to 110, maybe lower. A couple gaps to fill down here as well, so watch for that. But right now, guys, down sideways, bearish pattern. Let's see what happens in the next couple days. TLT. TLT, same thing. Look at that. Down, sideways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 days sideways. This is setting up for lower prices, guys. If it does crack, 120. And then down here, you got two gap fills right around 116.51 or so. But this down, sideways, coming from a high pivot, this could possibly lead us to lower prices. Let's keep an eye on this one. If you get above the 50 and the 20, then you're possibly going higher. So if you want to short this one, you can. But if it starts crawling back up, getting above the MAs, just call it quits and be done with it. Wait for some better signs. Right now, actually, you know what? Don't do anything with this right now. We're kind of in a 50-50 range here. We are at the 618 holding that. We're trying to hold this lower trend line, which is big. Let's see what it gives us in the next couple days on the TLT. But this pattern here, guys, down sideways, is telling me at least that this thing could be moving lower, gosh, in the next week or so. If that pattern fails, starts to move up, then we will test double top here and rip to 130 and then higher. Usually the pattern that fails, it will rip in the other direction a little bit harder. So, but again, gosh, higher lows, it's okay. Bearish pattern though, above the 200. A little bit going on here, and then you're back down to this retrace, so you're kind of in the middle where it could go up, could go down, so just be careful with this one. If you're a short here, just tighten the stops. If you're long from down in here, tighten the stops. Pretty much the same trade, so keep an eye on this TLT. Keep an eye on this pattern, though, guys. This is telling me lower prices to come. But let's look at the weekly really quick. I know it's a weekly close. I just want to see, yeah, there's some support here. Let's see if this goes sideways into this week, and then gives us maybe 5-6 weeks of consolidation. That would tell me lower prices then. I mean, down sideways as well. Let's give it some time. Right now, we're just in that position where it could go up or down right now. But the pattern's telling us a little more bearish, but we do have support down below it. So watch for that. Let's see what the TLT does in the next couple days. GDXJ. GDXJ back above the 50. We're right on top of the 20, guys. Caught a nice little bid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, kind of grinding higher. Big area trend line, big area trend line here. That's another one. We got to get above these areas, and the 382 retrace. So we get above that, then I'm thinking we could go to 35.17, then 35.61 or the 200 MA. Then we'll take it from there. But the GDXJ a little bit weak, being on top of the 20 and below the 200, but trying to make a move here. Little pullback. We had a gap up and a 2-day pullback. We're gapping up again, trying to get this thing up and running. Let's just give it more time. Let's see if we go sideways and up. Does it come right back down? I still like the 27.43 area on this one on the GDXJ. If we come down, boom, boom, I think we're going right down to there. If it starts to slip, this thing starts to grind, get above the 20, clearly get above the 20, not right on top, then we can shoot for this upper trend line and then go for the 200. We get above the 200, then this thing will be off to the races. Get above here, and then 37, and then what's double top? 38.17, and 38.60, and then the blue line right around what is it, 37? Well, the trend line's here about 37 bucks, 618, but I'm thinking we could possibly get to these highs too. So one step at a time. Let's see if we can get above this level. We get above this trend line and that trend line, then we're talking we could possibly go higher. But again, it's the GDXJ. We get one big move up and 4 big moves down, so just keep an eye on this one. If you are going long from here, 31, you got an okay trade in here. Just tighten the stop and ride this thing up. So all right, guys, thanks again for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. God bless. See you on the charts.